People of Pandora rejoice! Your favorite looter shooter's back with their next greatest game since 2012. Wait, didn't I already cover a looter shooter recently? Oh yeah, it didn't have guns. Anyways, let's get this poop train rolling. The first thing to jar you out of your mind is the new UIs. From inventory to vending machines, it'll take you a little bit of time to get used to the way they work. The next thing is lag in menus. I know this is probably mostly just day one issues, but still, it needs to be mentioned. And although I have run into a couple of glitches, it's been nothing too game-breaking. The gunplay feels smooth, which is an important part of a first-person shooter. The story has a serious tone, but knows when to throw in some comic relief. Now, how about I actually go into detail with what I mean? First off, the gunplay. The gunplay feels really good in Borderlands 3. The SMGs have lower damage but can easily make up for that with speed. Shotguns make enemies fly if you get lucky, which is a nice feature and I love it. But it also does tons of damage while doing that. Rocket launchers are still best used for second wins or, just taking down big bosses, as even with SDUs, you don't get to hold a lot of rockets. Pistols are surprisingly god tier when you get purple or above, doing upwards of 300 damage. And all around, it seems like 2K/Gearbox learned from their mistakes with pre-sequel by fixing the formula that felt a little weak in that game. I mean, did any of us actually like the laser guns? Next on our list is the playable characters. The playable characters each have their own unique skill set, from Flak, who can summon a rift of pure radiation that buffs up his pet, to a monkey with a gun that can help him kill enemies or even have it revive him. Mose, who gets a diva mech that can pilot itself and then charge at enemies to explode. Amara, who has more melee siren abilities like astral projection, okay, and slamming down on the ground to annihilate nearby enemies. Or how about Zane, who can clone himself and teleport between the clones to cause mass confusion and pick up a good critical spot. Not a fan of a clone? No worries! He also has the ability to summon a drone to shoot at enemies and help clean out the area. You wanted to hear about new mechanics, right? New mechanics. We all knew these were coming, but I don't think anyone expected what we got. You can now fill your ammo from outside the ammo dump vending machines by hitting your weapon swap button. You can do the same thing with healables at Zez machine. Slag is gone and replaced with a new element, radiation, which, once inflicted, does constant damage, and if the enemy is killed while irradiated, they explode, hurting nearby enemies. We have a new vehicle type that's just a tire, but hey, it's super fun to drive, especially with new parts. Speaking of parts, there are vehicles hidden in the various maps of Borderlands 3 that Ellie will tell you to grab and take to the catch a ride so you can get new parts to use on your vehicles. Most vehicles are a challenge to get to, and are most usually worth the extra effort. Of course, there are some mechanics you can go the entire game without using, like the mail system. You get guns from Hammerlock and Zero this way by completing their hunts. They give you weapons themed on whatever you killed for them, which is a nice touch. You also get extra guns from manufacturers after killing 100 enemies with one of their guns, so expect to get a lot of mail. Now for the story, mostly spoiler-free. There is a cult that's trying to open vaults, so their siren leader can absorb the power of the vault beasts. You get to go to 5 different planets, which I won't disclose for any trying to keep it relatively spoiler-free. You actually get to go into the vault this time though, so if you like that feature in Tales from the Borderlands, then rejoice. In fact, if you're a real vault interior decoration lover, then you have 5 vaults to admire. I guess that means at least 1 vault monster to destroy. Now how's about we get into some glitches? This game is not immune to glitches, especially when you play it right after release. I'd like to dedicate this part of the video just to show the glitches I got while playing through and recording for this video. Well, with no further procrastination, let's start the glitch montage.
You keep this thing so straight, I can't.
The hunt takes flight.
I got stuck.
Try it.
Oh wait, I can use it even though I'm like only level 6, level 7 gun. Wait, where the fuck am I? Holy fucking shit! It knocked me so far away. Anyone else see the?
I'm trying to keep you safe.
By just ditching me on the ship? You said I could be a vault hunter like you. You promised.
You will.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
It's still going.
Keep this up and I'll be a god for real.
That's what I said. Now, let me do my thing.
She's absorbing his power.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Taking what's ours. See, the monsters don't protect the victims.
And now it's all mine.
Hey, save any for the parasite.
What the fuck is up with that gun in the background?
I think that's me.
We're leaving. Now.
We should be kicking their asses.
Shut up, child.
So who's the brat? You, I guess. What's her deal? She's no one.
What the fuck? There's multiple.
I'm gonna be a siren, and then I'm gonna mop the floor with assholes like you.
You're gonna. Is that how you think this works? Honey, you're not even gonna leave this place.
That rock.
Well, Maya's not gonna be assigned here soon.
Put her down. That's right.
Well, Maya's no longer gonna be assigned soon. Yep. Damn it! Now we have 2 sirens down.
Ava, don't. Me. Ready.
It's just dark and don't feel so good. The fuck is wrong with this arm?
Got what we came for.
It's a robot arm.
Thing ever works out for you.
So Maya's just straight up dead. God damn.
Actually, no, she's a book.
I think she dropped her book. Yeah, take that rock.
I don't see the floating gun anymore.
What the fuck was that?
Let's look at guns. It was your gun.
Was it my gun?
Yes, it was your gun.
Up. I don't think I was supposed to be able to come up here. It looked too high to jump up to.
God, reviving this is hard.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't respawn well.
Why is
It's killing my-
every time he ends up going out of the ends up going out of the map? That's weird. Oh shit.
Oh god!
um. Now that the glitches are over, how about we move to cosmetics? Crazy Earl is back, but this time he isn't selling you SDUs for Iridium. He's selling you something monumentally less useful. Cosmetics! There are a range of cosmetics you can buy from Earl, including heads, skins, weapon skins, bangles for your gun, decor for your room, and much more. Of course, if you don't want to buy cosmetics, don't worry. Your Iridium will not go to waste. There's a vending machine outside of Earl that also takes Iridium in exchange for equipable items that can either just be anointed or anointed for your specific class, giving an extra buff when you use it. Well, time to talk about some of the returning NPCs. Borderlands is notorious for bringing back or adding characters that people love. Tiny Tina is back, although not as tiny as you may have thought. She's grown a bit. Brick and Mordecai are of course still hovering around her and making sure she stays safe. Well, safe from bandits. Lilith is back and her story progression will either make you go on an emotional roller coaster or just hit you like a freight train. Vaughn is back as well, with his bandit clan leader self, although things aren't going too well in that regard. Reese has a mustache now? Why? It looks so bad. Whatever. Hammerlock is back and his missions aren't completely annoying. You get to go out and explore the map and find rare and interesting creatures, and then kill them for him. Once they're good and dead, he'll mail you a gun that's themed on the monster you just killed for him. Sadly, only 2 of the playable characters for Borderlands 2 show up, but they do some pretty cool stuff in 3. Like Zero, who can now cut through laser walls. You can also find Zero's contracted kills and take them out, and he'll send you a gun as well. And Maya, who can have an apprentice, I guess? All in all, I loved the game, but I have to take off a few points for the constant lag spikes and performance issues.